Y'all, I was just thinking about something, right? And I will say, I'll start it off by saying I could be wrong. If I am, just let me know in the comments. I'm fully willing to admit I may be wrong here. I haven't really crunched the numbers, done the math, things like that, right? I just wanted to get this out, make a video about it, because it's really been on my mind and I'm wondering if it makes any sense to y'all. All right, think about money, right? Specifically, think about how much things cost. Whenever we look at the price tag on an item, our brains automatically and instantly match the value of the physical thing we're holding to the price tag, right? Like we think that we're paying for the matter itself. So what I mean is, let's say you go to McDonald's to get a hamburger. You look at the price and you think, okay, I'm paying for the actual meat, the bun, the lettuce, the slice of tomato, the paper that it's wrapped in. You're paying for the materials, right? But hold on, let's think a little deeper. If you just strip away all the branding for a second and you actually just think about what's going on, right? You're not actually paying for the lettuce or the meat. The lettuce and the meat, that's just a plant. It's just a cow, right? The lettuce grows out of the dirt using sunlight and water. Nature didn't send McDonald's a bill to grow the lettuce, right? Nature just did it for free. It's just something that happens. It's the circle of life. What you're actually paying for is the labor of the person who planted it, looked after it, took care of it, picked it, and planted it, and packed it all into a crate, right? Let's go to meat. You're not paying for the meat. You're not paying for the cow. All the cow did was just eat the grass that was already there, right? Nature provided the raw materials. What you're paying for is the labor of the person who raised the cow. You're paying for the truck driver who drove it across the country and for the butcher who processed it, right? It's all labor. You're paying for human labor. Now, I know the immediate counter argument, because listen, I already thought about this, right? I already thought about what could people say back to this. I know people are thinking, no, it's not the labor. Think about it. The lettuce took water. The cow, it took food. The mill to grind up the wheat and turn it into flour, that mill takes electricity. The truck to transport it, that takes gas. Those things cost money. Look, I understand those cost money, but you got to think about this again on a deeper level. You're still paying for labor, even for those. Here's why. Think about water. Water comes out of the sky and it hits the ground. It gets absorbed into the dirt or in a pond or you collect it, whatever. It's just there. It just happens, right? It's part of Earth. And again, Earth does not charge you. We don't owe the planet for any of this rainwater, right? So whenever a farm has to pay a water bill, what they're actually paying for is, again, the labor. The labor of the construction workers who had to lay the pipes, the labor of the engineers who built the water treatment facility, the labor of the workers that maintain the pumps to make sure the water actually gets from that river to the farm. You could do this with electricity. You could do this with gas. All you're paying for is the labor of the person who extracted it out of the earth to give it to you. You're just paying for the worker at the oil rig that takes the fossil fuels out of the earth so you can utilize the gas. So when you really strip down everything down to the absolute bedrock of reality, we'll say, things themselves don't really cost money. Nature kind of just gives us everything that we need for a grand total of absolutely $0. Humans take those and put hard work and labor into these materials, and then you pay for that labor, right? And ultimately, that's what we pay money for, is human energy. So every dollar you spend is just a token for someone's time and sweat. Which brings me to the ultimate question of the video. And this is the part that literally keeps me up at night. Well, not literally, but it just doesn't make any sense logically. If everything we buy is just a long chain of human labor, then how in the world is the cost of things going up if the people who get these things for us are still being paid the same? Think about it for a second. We're told that inflation is just a natural thing that happens, that gas prices, they go up, water prices, they go up, food prices, they go up. But if I'm not paying for the gas itself because the oil is already in the ground, what I'm paying for is the labor, then a price hike on my end should mean the same percentage price hike is happening on the worker's end. That's what would be driving the price, right? Because I'm paying for the labor. So if I pay more, that means the labor cost goes up. Who makes money off the labor? The person, the laborer, the person doing the labor. So if the price of food goes up, let's say the price of beef goes up $1, you would think that that dollar is being paid out to the people who make the beef, right? But then they're still making the same amount of money somehow. All their wages are staying the exact same. In fact, actually, to be honest, a lot of times real wages are actually kind of going down as far as your spending power because of inflation and how expensive everything else is getting. You may make the same amount of money on paper, but in reality, it's actually less than you used to make. But you guys already know that. So if the human beings collecting water, drilling the gas, and baking the bread are making the exact same hourly wage, but the price of the water, the gas, the bread, everything else is climbing every single year, where's all the extra money going? Right? And we already know where it's going. But in my mind, inflation and wages should be linked directly together, like literally a 1-to-1 ratio. If it takes the same amount of human energy to make a burger today as it did to make a burger 5 years ago, and those workers are getting paid the same amount of money as they were 5 years ago, the burger should cost the same amount of money as it did 5 years ago. The fact that prices can skyrocket while the people doing the actual work see none of it feels like a massive glitch in the system. You could even say a social glitch. Now, if you did not cringe and click off the video, then all I'm trying to say is it means that we're not actually paying for labor at all, right? We're paying for something else entirely. And it's leaving the people who actually build the system and build the world completely behind, poor, or homeless. So I just wanted to ask, am I missing a piece of the puzzle here? Is there actually some economic explanation for this that I'm just too stupid to understand? Or is the system legitimately broken?